Oppo is one of the first smartphone brands to introduce AI camera features into smartphones. The company has a camera-centric smartphone series known as the F series, which is popular among users for their camera abilities. Oppo's F17 Pro is equipped with a total of 6 AI cameras, 4 on the back and 2 at the front. The smartphone is priced at and it comes powered by a MediaTek's Helio P95 processor, and that is with a 4000 mAh battery. This is the second smartphone from Oppo with a slim form factor like the Reno 4 Pro, and I've tested and reviewed that smartphone. You can click on the link in the description to watch that. I have been using this smartphone for the past 2 weeks, and here's what I think about this. Let's talk about the design of the Oppo's F17 Pro, and it comes in 3 color variants: Magic Blue, Matte Black and Metallic White. The handset features a shiny matte design, and the rear of the smartphone comes coated with a fingerprint resistant finish, which helps to keep the device clean and free from fingerprint marks. The phone has a reflective back that transmits multiple colored lights when the phone is held from different angles. Along with being easy on the eyes, the smartphone offers good hand feel while holding. Oppo's F17 Pro is 7.48mm thick and it weighs only 164 grams. The handset has curved edges, which too are coated with a glossy design. The power button is housed on the right edge, while the volume keys are ergonomically placed around the phone along with a SIM card tray on the left side of the phone. The bottom of the F17 Pro sports a USB Type-C port that sits between the speaker grill and a standard 3.5mm headphone jack. It was good to see that Oppo bundled earphones in the box along with a protective transparent silicone case that is usually missing nowadays. Overall, the Oppo's F17 Pro surely has a clean design that looks premium, feels sturdy, and has a good in-hand feel. It is comfortable to hold and operate thanks to its lightweight build and thin form factor. The smartphone comes with a 6.48 inches Super AMOLED curved Full HD Plus display with a 2400 x 1080 pixels of resolution. The display comes protected with a Corning Gorilla Glass. On the top, it has a 60Hz refresh rate. The phone also has a great touch response time. Brightness levels of the smartphone are great and you can use it under a direct sunlight. Color reproduction on the phone screen is good, which makes the images look sharp and vibrant. I didn't face any issue in viewing screen from different angles. If you noticed, let me know that in the comment section. However, we are living in an era where users prefer to have a phone with high refresh rate. Obviously, it's not a standard, but it is a feature that's worth having. The display was quite enjoyable while viewing the content from YouTube and other entertaining apps. In addition, you also get the support of HDR content, and there's also a Wide 1L1 support for HD playback on Netflix and other apps. Moreover, there are value-added features like always on display mode and dark mode, and the always on mode shows the clock and some more details on the locked screen, so you do not have to unlock the phone to check the time and date. There's also an in-display fingerprint scanner that works pretty well. You get both speed and accuracy with it. For faster unlock, there's also an option to go with the 2D face unlock, which is also reliable enough. Oppo's F17 Pro is a smartphone that comes powered by MediaTek's Helio P95, which is an octa-core processor, and the handset packs an 8GB of RAM with 128GB of internal storage capacity. The device runs on ColorOS 7.2 based on Android 10.0 operating system, and the phone also offers air gesture feature using which one can receive or reject calls without touching the phone. The ColorOS is highly customized software and it allows users to customize app icon as per their choice. And the option to change the shape, size and arrangement of apps is pretty unique, I guess. The overall system animation on Oppo's F17 Pro are pretty fluid and responsive. Apps do open quickly and the touch response is also pretty accurate. For navigation, you get 3 options: side swipe gestures, virtual buttons, and swipe up gestures. For even more convenience, Oppo has baked an assistive touch button which overlays on the screen all the time, and this can function as a single home button or you can have it as a menu button. The Oppo's F17 Pro also offers multi-user modes using which a user can create 5 independent user spaces to keep the personal data and files separately. These users will have different levels of permission and they will be password protected. The phone can handle most day-to-day tasks with ease. Processor and graphic intensive workloads are not much of a problem, but you should not expect an extreme performance that we usually get on a top-end premium smartphones. The gaming experience on the phone is decent if not perfect, And the slim form factor of the device also contributes some, if not heavily, in the gaming experience. The phone faces slight lags at maximum graphics settings in popular gaming titles like Call of Duty and PUBG Mobile, but you can avoid that by playing on medium graphics and high frames. Overall, if you're looking for a well-performing smartphone, this is it. But if you're too much involved into the gaming and you are looking to buy a smartphone for the gaming purposes, then you should pass. Oppo's F17 Pro offers a 6 AI cameras. It has a dual in-display camera sensor at the front and a 4-lens camera system on the back. The selfie camera system comprises of a 16 megapixel main camera with f2.4 aperture and a 2 megapixel depth sensor with the same aperture as a 16 megapixel sensor. On the rear side, the phone is equipped with a 48 megapixel primary camera with f1.8 aperture. It is paired with an 8 megapixel wide-angle lens with f2.4 aperture, a 2 megapixel mono lens with f2.4 aperture and another 2 megapixel sensor with f2.4 aperture. The stock camera app is easy to navigate through. Icons for the night, video, photo, portrait and more are placed at the bottom, and the 48 megapixel camera is not available by the default and it has to be turned on from the icon present at the top. By default, the camera takes 12 megapixel photos and you get the option to select HDR, filters, 48 megapixel AI mode and AI beautification. For videos, you can capture up to 4K at 30 frames per second and also slow motions at full HD resolution. You also get the ultra steady mode and several additional effects with the camera app. It is also possible to capture ultra wide video on the device. The phone's camera boasts features like AI color portrait, dual lens bokeh, AI night flare portrait, ultra steady video, bokeh video and more. The phone clicks decent images on the daylight. Both indoor and outdoor shots manage to capture enough detail and contrast. For low light photography, the Oppo's F17 Pro has a separate night mode which works pretty well. There is also an AI night flare mode which tends to warm the colors of the image that are captured during the night. The 2 megapixel mono lens and the 2 megapixel depth sensor cameras comes in handy when clicking in AI mode such as AI portrait color, AI night flare portrait, the dual lens bokeh and also the AI super clear mode. The dual camera at the front comes with the AI beautification mode which can be turned off as per your convenience. The AI color portrait mode that fades out the background and retains the color of only the image subject is also available. I am personally in love with this feature. That's pretty much it about the camera section. Now let's move on to the battery. Oppo has fitted a 4015 mAh battery in the F17 Pro which sports the company's proprietary 30-watt fast charging. I was able to juice up the battery from 0 to 100% in under 56 minutes and up to 66% in the first 30 minutes of the charging, which is definitely worth mentioning. It may not be as fast as Oppo's Reno 4 Pro's 65-watt charging, but at the current price point, the charging speed is surely impressive. With my medium to heavy usage, I regularly got around 7 hours on screen time. My usage included social media, WhatsApp, gaming, and streaming content. On most days, this phone could go without charging for a day and a half. There is also a dedicated intelligent power saving mode with which you can enable to get more life out of the battery. The AI built into the smartphone uses your sleep pattern and redistributes the last 20% of the charging by the time you usually wake up. Now it is time for the tech wafer verdict, and if you're looking to buy a smartphone that is good looking and sleek, lightweight, has an AMOLED panel, great battery life and charging speed with reasonably good performance, Oppo's F17 Pro is a device you should go for. If you are buying a smartphone only for the gaming purposes, then you should look for other alternatives. So that's it for the review of Oppo's F17 Pro. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you really did, press the like button and also do not forget to subscribe to Tech Wafer for more fresh content like this. With that being said, see you in the next one. Peace out.